So here we have our shoe lace or shoe mold, our shoe upper already done with no back stiffener, and also no toe puff. Here we have our lacing plier, our nails, our back stiffener, which will be inserted now, and our gum. So for this method of lacing, it involves inserting the back stiffener before lacing. So to insert the back stiffener, back stiffener, you pull out. Now if you notice, this part of the shoe upper have been closed. I mean, from here, left here open for the front toe cuff or front stiffener. So here is open. So from here down to this part have been closed, while this back is open. This back is open, so I can put the back stiffener. Now to put the back stiffener, which we have to do before lacing, we apply gum on it. I'm using a fiber back stiffener for this session. So you apply gum on it. I also apply gum on the side of the upper, not on the lining yet. So apply gum on the side of the upper. Now without waiting for it to dry, you insert the back stiffener. Why inserting the back stiffener now without waiting for it to dry is so you can align the back stiffener with the leather without having any wrinkle sides. So here, now you allow both of them to dry together. So you can see there is no rumpled sides, and now we apply gum on the other part of the back stiffener as well with the lining to completely close the back of the shoe. In most cases, due to maybe you are in a haste, you don't have time to apply gum single, so you can apply the gum once on both sides of the back stiffener and also on the lining and the upper. So you just close everything once, but then you have to be a professional. Also, I know you're professionals, so we try to follow the safer method. So same, we don't allow it to dry, then you lock it. So here you see I've been able to completely lock it. Sometimes after locking it, you realize that there might be some lumps around here, but not to worry. After the lesson, everything will be perfect. All right, so now we get our last and place the upper on the last. Now we place the upper just like this on the last. That means allowing it a little bit higher than the actual back height, and also holding the center to the center here. So allowing it this higher from the actual back height will give us enough leverage to stretch the center line during the lashing, and also to help us tightening the top line on both sides. So now if that is centered at the back, you can use your lashing. You cannot use your lashing plier to pull. Now you see what I did here. So you can use one hand to hold the front and check the back if it's centered, then have the nail insert the toe. Now this nail should be inserted far from the feather edge of the last, so that if in case there's any need for adjustments, you won't have to worry about any damage. Okay, so you can see here, so we have this here, it's centered, and we also have this here, it's centered. Another way to know if the center line is aligning with the center of the last is to check the upper. Now if the upper is straight, that means it's centered, but if it have any slant, that means one side is longer than the other side, that means it's not centered. So, and from our own here, I think it's having slants, so I'm just going to adjust it. All right, here. So I think this is better than this center. So now with this still at this position, we pick other sides of the last. Now I'm picking these two fronts of the last of the shoe upper. Now picking these two sides of the shoe upper now is helping us. Picking from this side is helping us stretch the top line down. You can see it's helping us stretch the top line down from here. So I'm picking from here like this, then also I'm picking from here like this. In most cases you have to start from the shorter side. Now you pull the shorter side with no much effort because there's nothing holding this other part. So you pull the first side, the shorter side, with less effort. And do the same to the other side. But this side now you pull with a little bit of effort. So here you can see now we've successfully laced the front. Now once we're done lacing the front and everything is still intact, you see how the center, the front have been laced. Now we can now pull this down to the correct height of our back height. All right. So here you see. So now the shoe is, let me say 30% last. Now I have my back stiffener already inserted, and here you see those lumps at the back are no longer there because due to the point of stretching the back, they align with the last, and also the last have given the back stiffener the shape it required. So now I can now proceed to nailing other part of the last. Now lacing has to do with lines. So by that I mean whatever you do to this part of the shoe, you do it to the corresponding opposite. That is, I nail here, I go down to the opposite to nail. I don't do this when lacing. I don't nail here. Let's say I nail here. And then maybe I'm in a haste or I'm trying to act smart. I then nail this side. And I didn't nail this side. No, we don't do that. Now by doing that, you're overstretching this side and neglecting this side. So once you nail here, you nail this other part. Now you can see the shoe is in line. Now the essence of, I told you the essence of these two nails, the essence of this center nail is to stretch the center of the upper, while the essence of these two other nails are to stretch the top line of the upper. Now the essence of other nails from this side, from this side to this side is to stretch this center part of the shoe. Now that is why I said when you stretch this part, you're stretching this side. When you're stretching this side, you're stretching this side. Stretching this side, you're stretching this side. Stretching this side, you're stretching this side. So sorry. So that's how it's done. Now we proceed to kneeling. Now you see the upper is already fitting to the last. Most bespoke shoemakers prefer lasting their shoe in the other method, which I didn't tell you. The method that involves putting the back stiffener after lasting the whole lining. Now, in doing that method, that means the method of putting the back stiffener after lasting the whole lining, you get to find out that the effort used in lasting the lining will be different from the effort used in lasting the upper. Now this tends to cause the shoe upper, especially the top line, to be loosened. You get to see, you hear this is a good sign of a good lasting, because now once the top line is tightened, it shows the shoe will be erect after lasting. So that's not good. Lasting the lining separately and lasting the upper separately is not good. So I recommend you try this method. Okay. All right. So now, if you can see clearly, you find out that our center line, our center of the upper have been shifted to this side. Of the last. Now, this happened because of the time I tried to pull this side. After pulling this side, I tried to pull this side without pulling this side. So now I've ended up shifting the upper from being at the center to one side. So now I'll have to correct that, because that's not good. Yeah, I understand that. Yes, if the shoe is being worn, it won't easily be noticeable, but then we're trying to create perfection, so we try to do everything right. Okay. Okay. All right. So now you can see that the center of the upper now is now in line with the center of the last. Now we can now proceed. Now if you've been able to last the shoe halfway to this point. If you've been able to last the shoe halfway to this point, if you've been able to last it halfway to this point, now you can last the back of the shoe. Now you either use a hammer or the hammer side of your lasting plier to hit the side of the back. Why hitting it is to bend the back stiffener, so it can be easy for us to last. Now we pick from the center first. Pick from the center, just like how we picked from the center from the toe. We also pick from the center from the back. Then we pick from either side of the back. Not so close at first. Not so close at first. Can be far from the center. They can be far from each other. I have one done nail here. Now when lasting the back, you realize I don't use a lot of effort to pull. Why? Because I don't want to try to change the shape of the back, because if I should try to pull it with a lot of effort, I might tamper with the top line, which is well in line. So I wouldn't want that to happen. So I pull with less effort. Now you realize that in lasting this back, I've been able to last 3 nails here. I've been able to nail 3 nails there, and I haven't done any here. And I told you that whatever you do at this side, you should also do it at this side. Yes, that's true. But if you should also notice, why I implemented that method in lasting this part of the shoe is because this part of the shoe is covered on all sides, while this part of the shoe is covered only on this side. So these sides are individual sides, while this side is a whole side. As it's a whole side, you last it together. Why? For the individual side, you last them individually, or if you still like, you can still last them together by nailing one hair, nailing the other hair. So you don't have any problem. If you nail them together or nail them individually. Another method of lacing is lacing, full lacing. Full lacing have to do with two steps in lacing. The first step is called the pre-lacing. The pre-lacing help us get the shape of the shoe, mold, shoe last. It doesn't help us get the shape of the shoe last on this upper. So after nailing all this, you take them out. Now insert the front stiffener, because now we've gotten where our feather edge stops and also at the back. Now we take out the shoe upper, in front of the front stiffener, insert the back stiffener, and do the final lacing. Now doing the final lacing, now everything would have been covered. The front stiff, this lining and the upper would have been gummed together, the back would have been gummed together, everything would have been gummed together. Then you now do the full lacing. But I prefer this method because, like I said, I'm not yet a professional, so I want to take it step by step. Okay, so once we're done lacing and we're sure that everything is in line, you can now move forward to applying gum inside. So now wait for the gum to dry.